I said I was going to start off simple, and you're like, really? That's the subheading? That doesn't look simple. And I'll admit it doesn't look simple, but it's a simple idea. All this means, congruence transformations, is what ways can you change a shape? That's a transformation, right? What ways can you change a shape so the shape actually remains the same? That's what congruence means, okay? Let me say that again. Congruence transformations are ways that you can change a shape so that after you've changed it, it's still kind of the same shape, okay? I'll show you what I mean. There are 3. Okay. Now, what we might do actually is, oh, by the way, congruence transformations is a bit of a mouthful, so sometimes they just get called transformations, okay? To capture what these all are, I'm going to ask us to draw a table. We're thinking of ways that you can change a shape so that it's actually still the same shape in the end, okay? So I will start off with the first one, and then I wonder if you can help me get the other 2 out. And really all the other things are combinations of these 3, okay? For each one, we're going to name the transformation. And each one has a special sort of technical name, okay? And then we'll think of what's a more common word that's a synonym for that. So you can actually think, okay, rather than getting confused by all the terminology, okay? Then I'm going to show you, for each of these transformations, in order to do them, you need to have some ingredients. I'll show you what I mean in a second. Okay? Lastly, and this is what the pencil is mainly for, we're going to draw one. I'll show you what I mean. So that you can not just describe it, but you can see it. Okay? So, here's my first one. Okay, let's go to black, shall we? My first kind of transformation is called translation. You're like, that sounds like a language word. It is a language word, but we're thinking about it in the terms of shapes and moving them around, okay? I think the easiest synonym for translation is kind of like sliding, okay? So, example, here we go. Here's a rectangle, okay? Eyes up, here's my rectangle. Now if I slide it over here, like so, I've changed it, haven't I? Like it's not in the same place anymore, but it's still the same shape. It's still got the same dimensions, you can describe it in the same way. I've translated my rectangle, okay? So that's why sliding is a similar kind of word, right? You're changing its position. In order to know, for example, with this rectangle, right? If you and I wanted to make the same translation, okay? You'd need to know where I moved it and how far, right? For example, maybe I would say, move it to the right 10 centimeters. Or move it down 50 centimeters or something like that, right? So what 2 things have I given you? I've given you these are the ingredients, right?
Yeah, go right.
Which way do I go? What's a word for that?
Right, instruction. Direction.
Direction. Ah, a direction.
Good.
But you need more than just a direction, right? You need to go how far in that direction. What's that? Like I said, 10 centimeters or 50 centimeters. A distance. Excellent. Okay? So you need a direction and a distance. And then you can do the translation. And then you and I can do the same one, right? In fact, if you wanted to, you could make it directions and distances, right? Because you could move, for instance, to the right and down. And that would be a translation, right? So I could combine a few together. Okay, so let's quickly draw one. Now, instead of doing a rectangle, because that turns out to be rather boring, okay? Let's do a letter. Okay, let's do a letter. How about the letter? No, we've got to be careful. I'm going to pick the letter R.
Yeah!
Why?
Now, serious question. I'm going to ask you later on, why do you think I picked R and not A or B or T or D? I'll let you have a think about it. Because some of you already know it and others of you are like, whatever, it's just random. Maybe because you're like, because that's Rashab starts with R, I don't know. I'll let you have a think about it. Okay. So, if we translated this, this is what it would look like. For instance, if that was the direction and the distance that I moved to do, right? The shape started over here, my R shape, and then it ends up over here. It's an R shape. So you can see it's still the same shape. It's still congruent. That's the fancy word for it's the same size. You know, you can describe it in the same way, but it's not the same exactly. I've changed it, haven't I?
That's a very straight arrow.
Thank you. All right, so there you go. There's a transformation.